Hey guys, today we're taking a look at animation in AngularJS. Here on the left, I've got an HTML page wired up with AngularJS, and I've also got Angular-Animate.js. I am going to put together a very quick little application here. So Angular module, I'm going to call it app, and it is going to have a dependency of ng-animate. And then I'm going to set up a controller, and into that, of course, we will inject scope, and then we'll go ahead and use that. Okay, so like I said, oops, it's going to be a very simple app, so we're going to have some items that we can add and remove. So we're going to have a couple methods here, add items. Be a function. We're going to have another one. Oops, that's going to be add items. Another one is going to be clear, and then another one's going to be remove a single item. So remove item. Okay, so this one is just going to add 10 items to our items. So let's see, I equals 10, I minus, okay. And we're just going to say scope.items.push, and then we're going to create this object. It's going to have a title, and the title is going to be item, and then we'll just append the value of I to it. Clear items is simply going to clear that out, and then remove item is going to take an index, and we're going to say scope.items.splice. So wherever that index is, remove one item. Okay, so there's our application, nice and simple. Let's get that on the page. There's our app, and here is our ng controller. And so we're going to make some, well, you know what, let's yeah, we're going to make a couple buttons here. So this button, actually, let's use Sublime here. Okay, so there, and each of these is going to have an ng-click equals something. Good enough. And so this one is going to be our add items. This one's going to be our clear items. And then this one's going to be our repeater. So it's going to be remove item. And it's going to pass in the index of this particular item. So this is going to be ng repeat equals item in items. And then the text there will just be the item.title. I feel like I'm skipping something. Let's separate this a little bit. And you know what? Let's just get it centered on the screen really quick. Okay, let's try that out really quick. So add, nope, we're not getting that. Let's see what we do wrong. Push of undefined. Scope.items. Okay. By Sublime. Alright, so we add some items, we get them, clear, add. If we click on one, it takes that item away. Okay, so on to the animation portion of this. Alright, so we are going to set up some classes, and what happens with ng-animate is it automatically adds these classes at different states, and the first one is enter. Now this is the state of an item that we are about to add to the scope. The second one is going to be enter active, and this is the state that the item ends up in. So we add an item to it, it starts off at enter, it ends up at enter active. Then the next one is going to be leave, and that's when an item we're about to take out of the scope, and then that is going to end up, whoops, at ng leave active. So let's just start off with our enter, and I'm going to give this a transition of 0.75 seconds, and I'm going to give it an opacity of 0. So I'm starting off with 0 opacity, and then I want to end up with an opacity of 1. So let's just try that out really quick. So add, and you can see them kind of fade in there. Add, you can see them fade in. So let's do the same thing for the leave. And of course, over here right now, when I hit add, they kind of, they fade in, but when I hit clear, they just disappear. And likewise, when I click on one to remove it, it just disappears immediately. So we're going to apply the same transition there, but now it's going to start with an opacity of 1 and end with an opacity of 0. So we're fading it out. Let's reload that. Add item, you can see them all fade in. When I hit clear, they all fade away. When I hit one, it fades away. So there's a really easy way to do some animation. Now, one thing we can do here, so when I hit add, it keeps adding all 10 at a time, which is in code what's happening, but if we want to visualize this a little better, one that we could slip in right here is ng enter stagger. And what we can do there is we can add a transition delay, and I'm just going to make that 100 milliseconds. So let's save that, reload here. When we hit add, oh, you know what? That is not quite what I wanted. Transition delay. Let's. You know what? I need the seconds there for the unit. So add, and now you can see each one kind of comes in on its own. Kind of nice, right? Add a whole bunch here. Got them fading in all over the place. When we hit clear, they all fade out. And so, of course, what we can do now is we can apply the same method to leave. So ng leave stagger, and we'll have the delay on that of 0.1 seconds. Reload. When we add, they all come in like that. When we clear, they all kind of fade away one at a time. Likewise, when I click on each individual one, it fades out as well. We can add a whole bunch here, hit clear, and they're all kind of fading out one at a time. It does definitely get pretty zippy there at the end. But nonetheless, there you go. That is a quick look at animation in Angular. There's a whole bunch of other classes that you can use here, and many of them are specific to the type of directive that you're using. So in our case, we are applying this to an ng repeat. So there's different classes that become available for different controllers. But I think the enter and the leave classes are a really great place to get started. So there you go. That's animation in AngularJS. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one.